This video is going to be about perseverance when it comes to painting. Now, perseverance kind of sounds like a very noble thing for something as simple as painting, but really what I mean is continuing with paintings that you feel like start poorly, or the start was rough and you feel like abandoning the project, and then you push through with that painting. So this is something that I've kind of discussed before in a video where I talked about the ups and downs of painting and the ups and downs of creating art. So it's kind of a similar concept. In the painting that I have on screen right now, this was a portrait when I started it. The phase that you see on screen right now, and even before that when I was just doing the outline, I really had the feeling, the impulse of abandoning the project immediately. I try not to do that. I try to always push through with paintings. And the reason that I try to do that is that there have been many occasions where I have not liked the initial stages of a painting and felt like it wasn't going well or whatever. And the end result ended up being something that I really liked. I was rewarded in those instances with an end result that I felt great about. That doesn't always happen, but it's happened enough at this point throughout the almost 200 paintings that I've done that it's not a rare phenomenon, and I feel like there's a decent chance, maybe a coin flip, maybe 50-50 as to whether it will work or not, but there's enough of a chance to where I feel like I should push through and power through with that painting. So in this case, the hang up that I had was the initial outline. I wasn't sure if it looked right, and I also wasn't sure if the composition of the painting would work the way that I had in mind. So I was thinking of this woman sitting in this position, and I was trying to use a stock photo reference and an AI generated image of a woman sitting to try to get the anatomical. I was trying to combine these two things and get the anatomical position right. And I've been fascinated with nature scenes and trying to practice water and practice kind of landscape stuff. So I was of course going to do that here again, because that's something that I've been trying to practice. And I thought, okay, well, I'll have water background behind the subject. And I just wasn't sure the way I envisioned it after I started. I just wasn't sure that it made sense or was even interesting. Now, interesting to me versus interesting to another viewer is kind of a sticky topic, and one that I can't always predict. I don't always know what will resonate with other people. In fact, I rarely know that. So that's a guessing game for me. But in terms of what I thought was interesting, I just wasn't sure the concept was working for me. So regardless, I did push through with the painting. And around when I got to the point where I laid down the background, or at least the beginning of the background here, I got the water in, I got more of the concept on paper visually, then I realized, all right, this actually I think worked for me. It's no like masterpiece or anything, but it did end up working in a way that I did not anticipate, in a way that I really was convinced at the beginning that it was not going to work out. So it just goes to show that sometimes those initial instincts that I have are just totally wrong, and that I find that pushing forward with things, and even if it's something that I'm not wild about, unless the beginning is a total disaster zone, I feel like it's worth it to keep going. And I'm not saying that investing a massive amount of time in something that you don't believe in is a good idea. It's probably not. But if we're talking about a matter of a couple of hours of time to see if something works, the worst that can happen, in my opinion, is you spent a couple of hours on something and you got some extra practice. So like in this case, I got to practice with color. I got to practice with a figure study. I got to practice texture, fabric texture, and light reflection. So like at a minimum, even if the end result is not great, practice was achieved. So rewards for continuing paintings and that perseverance that I mentioned, just powering forward. So that's all I have for this topic. I just thought it was a fun message to discuss how it's good to try to finish projects if you can, or at least I think it is. So thank you for watching this. I appreciate it. Hope to see you for the next one.